Hey, this is Stacia, and I'm going to share a training game that I played on chess.com. So, yeah, I actually got a new high rating from this game, and in really crazy fashion. I don't know if I played that well because it was kind of confusing, but yay, let's take the rocket ship and move it up because, right, I'm getting close to 1900. I might actually land on this planet. I've been looking at that for a while. I would really love to land there. So let's, get close, I guess, like this. Put it there. All right, and I guess let's go ahead and do some analysis. So the game started with e4. My opponent went c6, the Caro-Kann, and of course I like to take the full center. They go d5, that's the idea of the Caro-Kann, and takes, and c4. So this is the Panov Attack. I really love this opening. I've been playing it a while now, probably 3 years. And I've really got a nice feel for it compared to before. So we're basically attacking the center right away. Now my opponent decided to take. I don't think that's a good move though. I mean, yes, he's given me the isolated pawn, but I was going to take that on anyway. I'm planning on playing c takes d5. So really they should play something like e6 or maybe just knight f6 and just guard that pawn, I guess, why not? Instead they took, so this helps me develop, right? I get to develop my bishop. And then I feel like their foundation is a little sketchy because they played a6. Now my opponent's rated over 1800, so they're not exactly a slouch or anything. But why would you play a6? Like, you already wasted time with this. You wasted time with c6. Like, now you're going to play a6, b5? Like, really? Not develop your king side at all? So already I'm thinking, how do I punish this kind of play? Because it really seemed to me they're going to go b5. I was thinking about trying to play, like, maybe queen f3. I think in a blitz game I play queen f3 because, if they do this, I just take f7 and stuff. Or take the rook. I don't know which one I'd want to do. So I had a feeling they probably wouldn't do that, but I wanted to leave that square available. So I just simply played knight c3, and they did in fact go b5. And you know what? I don't know why I didn't do this. Like, why not play here? That looks like a decent move to me. Is that what the engine wants? No, it's not. But that looks like a decent move. Okay, so I'm going to check. Oh my gosh, we have a tactic here. I was planning queen f3 here. And then for some reason, I talked myself out of it. But look. Yeah, I was thinking, oh, they take my bishop and I don't have mate. But yeah, I could still take the rook. That was the whole point. Okay, so I already didn't do that, which is pretty disappointing. I mean, here we could probably also do it this way, right? Like, check and then win the rook. So that's a huge miss by me. I probably played that part really fast. Yeah, I did. Yep, I played that like instantly. So there you go. Rapid chess, unfortunately, got me there. So I played that too fast, but I could have won right in the opening. That's really sad for my opponent, though. So bishop e7 did come. And I'm like, okay, I can't really do the queen f3 stuff anymore. And I think queen h5 is just kind of silly. I don't think that's going to do anything really. They can defend that, I think, with g6 or something. So I went knight to f3. Developing. He went e6. He's trying to develop his pieces now. And okay, yeah, even here, when I went knight f3, there's when you have an isolated queen pawn, one of the things you can do, and that you really want to do, is push that pawn forward. And sometimes these early pushes, if you can get them, they're like fatal. They're like fatal. Now, a lot of times when I push this pawn, I have my bishop still on f1, and it helps me kick something out of like c6, and then I can play check, and This diagonal is a problem. Oops, this diagonal is a problem for black. Now here it's clearly different. This bishop's over here. I can't go to that diagonal. But I still thought this is definitely a move. Let me see what the engine says. Yeah, it likes knight f3 better. Okay, I'm glad to see that, because I was actually thinking if I go here right now, I thought they could play knight f6, and now they're attacking that pawn, and I still have to develop, you know. So I could go here, I guess, knight f3, and then maybe they can play. I was thinking maybe g6. They're probably okay here. They're probably okay because they don't ever have to go e6 now. I kind of want them to play e6. So after knight f3, they do play e6. Now I think d5 is a real move. Like it's a strong move now, because it's going to attack that pawn and open up the position before black's ready. Now, I know my king's in the center too, but the way we should assess these kinds of positions is who has more development and who has better quality development. So like I have 1, 2, 3 tempos of development, and I'm only 1 move away from castling. My bishop's actually open, my queen's open, right? Like stuff is very active and ready to go. But the black position, okay, they have this great bishop. That's 1 tempo of development. That's, I guess, 2 maybe. And but you can see that even though this bishop is open, yeah, I guess their pieces are kind of okay. They're a little better than I thought, but look how far away he is from castling, right? And Magnus Carlsen was someone that said, you know, if you're 1 move away from castling, you're fine. If you're 2 moves, it's risky. And if it's 3, you're lost or something like that. So based on that, I intuitively knew d5 was probably right, but I did calculate some stuff and I went d5. Turns out this is the top engine move, so yay, happy about that. All right, now I thought he might try this move, but it shouldn't work. He played b4. Now that attacks my knight, which is defending my pawn, but I'm sorry, you can't just move pawns every move, right? You can't just go e6, a6, c6, d5, b4. Like if you do that and you leave your king here, you're going to get killed, which hopefully this game will show. So I played the obvious move. He just let me come to that diagonal I wanted. So let's check, right? So that was pretty obvious. All right, so he decided to go knight d7, which I thought he would. But now that knight is pinned, and I thought here I could play d takes e6. Now I see the engine has a better move for me. I played this move because I thought if he takes my knight, which he did in the game, I think. Oh, he didn't take right away. Then I could take his knight with check, right? Like he takes, we take with check. This can't be good, right? King e7. Like, I think I would just castle now and then destroy him. Like, game over. I don't think he can survive. And we could even check right away with the queen. Because what do you do? Come out here? Go f6? I mean, this already loses their queen. So you can't really do that. But you can't venture your king on d6. Okay, well, it's an active king. But, yeah, don't we just have mate? Queen e5? Yeah, that is mate. So yeah, don't move your king out in the opening. That's a good way to get checkmated. So I was planning this. So he actually did played that move very quickly too, I remember. So okay, that's fine, but let's see what the engine wanted here. It's saying that it actually likes taking, which there must be a move, an idea there. I mean, if we take, I thought you can take back with the queen. And then maybe 95? Is 95 the idea? That would be a tempo. I don't know. Let's see what the engine wants here, because I am not sure at all. Yep, it is 95. So what's the problem here? Why is this so strong? Is it queen a4 check? Because like here, okay, let's just say queen c7. It looks pretty natural. Yep, queen a4 check the engine wants. Okay, yeah, so they cannot block. They have to move the king now. So the king's going to get really, really weak here. Now, if they go here, which is probably the best move, we can take opening up the position. We have this fork ready to go at some point. And I would definitely, wow. Oh, bishop f4 is what the computer wants. It's the only winning move, bishop f4. Which is pretty interesting. I guess saying you can't leave your queen there. So what do? I guess they could try this, but that's blocking a lot of stuff. Stuff can't go there now. But then we go d6. Ooh, yeah, and now if they take this, we have like rook d1, pin that, and if they move away, yeah, this is, I don't know where they should go. I really don't. I guess they have to go there, but then we just mate them somehow. Let's see. How do we do it? Where's the mate? Let's throw in a check. Yeah, just that. Okay. So, I did not see that continuation with trading. That's pretty cool. And the engine also likes knight e5 right away. Because we're attacking a pin knight. That does make some sense. And if they want to take our knight, then we pretty much can take this because they can't take back with the queen. They can't take back with the king. They're going to have to go here. So we get the piece back right away, and it's going to be very similar to the other line. Like probably just d6 check right away. Looks really good. Yeah, in fact, what do? They have to come out here. Okay, this time we don't have bishop g5, but actually we do have bishop g5. You know why? Because if they take, which they kind of have to, then we fork this way. That's going to win a lot of material. All right, so very interesting tactical themes appear because we pushed our d-pawn early when black wasn't ready. And so I like these lines. I feel like for a good year or two, I would miss this kind of move, this early pawn push. And my coach was yelling at me. Michael Chosen's like, no, play this, of course. And I'm like, what? I just didn't understand, but I definitely get it now. And I'm having some nice games with it. So, all right. But anyway, he did take back with a pawn. Okay, so here, I see now that my move wasn't the best, but I played queen b3. I'm going to turn the engine off for a second. I went queen b3. I thought this is actually kind of interesting because this actually pins the b pawn, right? So if he takes, I was going to take here. Now I'm threatening that knight, and it's kind of difficult for them because, like, let's just say we waste a turn. I don't know. Well, let's say this, I guess. If I take here, he cannot take with the queen because then we win the rook, right? So he would have to take with the knight. And then, yeah, probably like, I don't know, maybe just develop. I'm not exactly sure, but I like this position a lot. I probably just castle because now the rook's ready to come in, put pressure down the e file, maybe pin the knight on the d file, stuff like that. And black's still to move away from castling. We might even be able to stop them. So, okay, so queen b3 I thought was interesting. Now in the game, he took on f3. Maximum confusion. Now, that's his best piece right now, that bishop. So I wasn't too happy to see him trade off. I mean, too upset to see him trade off. But it's very kind of crazy now, right? Like, we got to play well. I thought it might be possible to take the bishop, but he could take our knight. And then I guess they're up material, right? I mean, so what do we do? Well, my other idea was to take this pawn. He could go here. Yeah, it's not super clear to me. I mean, I still like white because our development is so good and their king's in danger. Probably we can do stuff like castle or develop the bishop. Try to get a rook to e1 as soon as possible. I could see that being a good plan. Yeah, also having the... Yeah, I probably would just castle or go rook g8 or something. I'm not sure, but... All right, but in the game, I actually did take the pawn with check first. Now, this is a good move. It actually is better, the engine says, to simply take back. So the engine likes this. Actually does want to do the line I was saying. Like takes and then check now. And bishop e7 and then what? Castle. Okay, cool. That is what I was thinking there, but instead I threw this in first. So I threw in this check. And okay, I definitely wanted him to go queen e7 because then I thought this is really good, right? Like the queen is pinned, can't take back. The king can't take, obviously, so that would just be bad. And that kind of happens soon. But that was part of the reason why I liked this move. So that means he should probably go bishop e7, I thought. Oh, he actually did go queen e7. Okay, so this did literally happen right now. So queen e7's a blunder, right? You can't do that. You cannot do that. I thought he would go bishop e7, and then I'm still nervous. You know, I still got to play right. I'd probably take the bishop here. And then he could take my knight. So he's up material in this position. And then I was thinking I would castle. I really was. Now, I'm not afraid of him taking here because then I get my bishop developed as well. And I've got that pins the pawn. And this should be winning. But he could try to just finish development, maybe like knight f6. And if he did this, I would be a little nervous that black's going to like consolidate. The good news is that he cannot castle, right? Like we stopped it. So probably that kind of tells me that we have compensation for a piece here. And the fact that this is pinned and can't move and our rooks are coming in, I would think I could win this game. I really would think so. All right, so after check, queen e7 takes. He just goes king to d8. I take the bishop. Okay. Now here he does take the knight. And I played a really interesting move here. Oh, good. I'm glad to see it's like the second engine move. Because this move's either good or bad. I'm not sure which. I'll kind of show you what I was thinking. And as you can see, I was getting down on the clock now. Because I was trying to find the best moves here. It looks like I didn't quite do it, but bishop g5 is what I played. I like it because it develops a piece. And it actually pins the queen, even though it's kind of temporary. The queen can therefore not take the bishop, not take the queen. She could take the bishop, but then I thought if she does take, I could probably go queen e8 check. I thought this is a move. And then when this king moves, I was going to take the rook. If the king takes the bishop, I thought rook d1 and my queen and rook. It looks like we're going to be able to mate that king. I couldn't fully calculate it because I didn't have much time. I'm not sure I could fully calculate anyway, but I was assessed this as winning. So let's see if I was right or not. Okay, bishop g5 is a move. In the game, they didn't take it, but if they do take it, let's see if this wins. Oh, actually, my move is good for white. Let's see. Engine's going slow, and I don't know why. Yeah, this is actually possible. It's giving queen d2 check, though, which I kind of missed. Queen d2 check. Oh, wow, I did miss that. And that's a fork. And it says king f1. Now they can take the bishop, I guess if they go here, we can go queen a7 check, pick up that queen, and these pieces are still ridiculous. We still have a slightly better position there. But if they take with the king, I mean, I have ideas to play rook d1, but we can't do it now. And this is kind of equal. So, wow, I kind of blundered that. I did not see that queen d2 check, so I really should have seen that. Sometimes I forget about these pawns that are far advanced and they're about to get captured. Like, in the variations, they could be used, right? So, yeah, so, okay, but what about the line I thought? Is this actually winning? Yeah, Stockfish is taking a long time. It is. It says rook d1. Well, it's maybe not winning, but it's definitely better. It says +2. So that was kind of my thought too. So this is fine. You can play that way. Okay, so that does justify bishop g5, although I missed the queen d2 check thing. But my opponent played knight f6, which I also did calculate. And I thought here, you know, I may maybe not be winning outright, but I'm still better. I'm just better here, which is true. Computer says +2. So here, I just simply took. I don't think this is necessarily the best move. Yeah, in fact, it might be a mistake. Computer gives. Yeah, computer wanted something else. What did it want? It wanted to castle queenside, which I definitely thought about. And it also likes taking this pawn. Okay, I'm not going to take that pawn. I guess I could because of rook d1. I mean, if we take the pawn, I thought he could win this bishop, but maybe not. Like, if he takes that, we take back. Now, he can't take with a knight, but he could take with the king. And, I mean, didn't he just win material? But I think the point is that we go rook d1 right in this moment. And that would win the queen. So, okay, I didn't really see that, but I was trying to play fast here. Okay, so after this, I just simply took. I thought I'm at least better here because rook d1 is coming. So he took this way, and okay, now I castle queenside, which I thought was really interesting. I mean, it gets my rooks connected. It brings both rooks in, and I thought the rooks on the D and E files could be very deadly. I could also go the G file. I mean, this just looks very difficult to play. And I thought if they take, which he did, I didn't think I should take the pawn because then he can check me and stuff. I'm a little exposed now. He could maybe just get out of danger with this move. And it might not be that easy for me to get out of checks. Like, I might even need to block with my queen or something. Actually, blocking with the queen might be bad. I'm not sure. And then, well, computer is saying king c2. And then, okay, I guess I'm covering this, but I didn't want to go into this. Like, why allow this kind of like counterplay? Don't want to do that. So I simply played king b1. Let's see if that was the best move. I like using my opponent's pawn as a shield. It's like kind of a funny thing to do. I used to do this in King's Gambit right in the opening sometimes. So I feel comfortable doing it. Okay, the engine wants to take the pawn, but I played this and he took the queen. Of course he wants to trade. I took back. Wow, so I'm like only slightly better now. So I did misplay the position, which I didn't realize. But the way this game ends is kind of crazy. Because he goes king e7, which is a complete blunder, I think. Because watch what happens. Rook h to e1. And he goes rook b8. And are you seeing what I'm seeing? Yeah, we get discovered checkmate, like almost anywhere. Anywhere we want, it's like discovered checkmate. So I should have picked the most fun one, bishop g8 checkmate, but I just went here. And Yeah, that's actually checkmate. So pretty wild. So my hopes and dreams came true. I wanted to get my rooks out first and catch the king in the center of the board, and sure enough, it worked out, right? And then the bishop gets to take away his only square there. So pretty cool game, I thought. And so if we just run through it real quick and see what happened. Actually, I'll turn on the computer analysis now. You guys can see some too. There we go. You can see two now. So I did not play very well. So that's unfortunate. I thought I played better than I did. But in these super sharp positions, you have to understand that it's much harder to play accurate. Like I used to play the Scandinavian a lot. And in those close positions, even when I was like 1500, I could get like over 90% accuracy because there wasn't a lot of tactics, no sharp moves, no big swings in eval, you know. But in these types of games, it's like one move's like incredibly good and the second best move is like losing. Like you just don't know. Like it's just harder to be completely accurate. But so we had a Caro-Kann. My opponent played this opening just terrible, if you ask me. Yeah, like b5 is just a blunder. Now I played this part terrible, instantly playing bishop b3 when there's a win with queen f3 or bishop takes f7, followed by queen f3 check, winning the rook in the corner. Instead, I played bishop b3 too fast, missed my chance. I kind of knew that during the game too. I was like, oh, that bishop got to b7, like, and I just played too fast. E6, yay, d5. I mean, I'm really glad that I always find this move now when it's there. Gives a huge advantage for white. Yeah, I had a feeling he could not play like this. Okay, queen b3 missed win. Here we had 95 stuff and much better moves. Okay, it likes queen takes e6. Yeah, and here I had a really huge advantage again. But now, okay, right here I start going wrong. But it's clear why. I had 2 minutes, and it's still not that easy of a position. So I was trying to go fast. So I was a little lazy, and sure enough, I should not have taken this way. What I really needed to do, let's look at the analysis. Yeah, I guess take that. I mean, I don't know. Castle queenside I like. I should have just castle queenside and left this knight here. But I had to see that this doesn't lose a bishop, which I did not calculate. So wow, castles misses a win. I should go b takes c3 or... No, it says castles. Why is it calling it a miss? Oh, silly computer. Okay, but then my opponent blunders. I mean, this is inexcusable. I mean, how is this guy 1800? I mean, he has 15 minutes on the clock, and he's going to play king e7 and lose the game. Like, wow. Like, that should be marked as a blunder. I don't know why it's not, but yeah, because then it's just over. I mean, and this too. Blundering checkmate in one move. How are they 1800? I really don't know. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the game and learned something, and I'll be back with more chess. Okay, bye.